difficulties. We are re-recording. We had a great start to that previous show. We're going to restart it today. Welcome, everyone. Good to be here. Another segment of Where's Mite. I was mentioning last time, he gets really quiet just prior to recording. So hopefully he joins soon. But we're here to talk about the Michigan victory over the Michigan State Spartans last week. A really exciting victory. The ultimate score was, I think, 31-20, right? The final score, but
that's
really
right.
Not as close as that number would imply. I think we really kind of pulled away. Probably end of the first half, beginning of the second half. Michigan State ended up scoring about 13 points in the fourth quarter. But again, it wasn't really close. Super proud of the Wolverines. It was an amazing game. We'll get to Dude of the Week from Kyle. We'll get to the Freak Nasty picks from Chris. We are, FYI, a little bit later in the week recording this week. So we are in the middle of Saturday. So right before the Michigan game starts, and in the middle of some of the other games. So we'll get to the Freak Nasty picks of some of the games that already happened and will happen. But very exciting week for us. Obviously, we'll talk about the Michigan State game. We'll talk about the upcoming game against Purdue. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Chris, you start. I'm just, from my perspective, and we'll get to Dude of the Week from Kyle, but really interesting victory, really great stats across the board. Not necessarily from Bryce, although he just managed the game, was a very good general, and got us the victory, even though I think he was sub 100 passing. So want to get your thoughts on the game, and then maybe Bryce's performance as well.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, any win over Michigan State's always a good win. They always seem to be an annoyance to us, even when they're terrible. Bryce,
not so much this year.
No. Bryce didn't have over 100 yards, but that's because our run game was just relentless come the second half. We completely wore down their defensive line. I think Justice Haynes had over 150 yards, a couple touchdowns. Really, really great having him back this week. But that Bryce Underwood, it gave me a very curious thought before the podcast. I was like, what do you guys think we would be without Bryce Underwood this year? What would our record be? I think we have lost two more games, probably Nebraska and Washington.
Oh, at least. I mean, in your hypothetical, who's leading the team? Just anyone else?
Davis Warren.
If it's Davis Warren like last year.
Davis Warren, we're 1-6 or 1-1.
I'm thinking we would have dropped 3. We would have dropped 3 more games with Davis Warren.
RIP.
So that $3 million a year he's getting, I would say that each win is worth several $100,000. So probably a really good investment on Michigan's behalf. Not such a big number that was that initial shock when we heard he was getting $12 million over 4 years. I'm really proud of the way he managed. I thought he was going to air it out, but that's not the game plan that Sharon's going to run, obviously. And he's been very selfless about it. He's like, whatever we need to do to win the game, which is huge from your 5-star number 1 recruit quarterback, not to be all about stats and give me touchdowns, give me throws. So really good stuff. I enjoyed seeing that. And I look forward to carrying that momentum forward. I think our defense played outstanding football. I know there were some degenerate gamblers very upset with that last second touchdown by Michigan State to cover the spread. I think it was 13.5, and they covered 31-20.
Yep.
Yeah, but all in all, great performance. What'd you think?
Go ahead, Cal.
Yeah, it was a nice, solid win. Michigan State, I think, needs to look inwards and maybe find some change in themselves, because this was one of those games where they didn't seem to care at all, and you rarely see that out of Michigan State. So they looked like a MAC team. We looked pretty good.
Yeah, we did look pretty good. I was really happy with the performance. I'll say, like, if you guys remember from the last podcast, the last game we were chatting about, there's a couple. First of all, Bryce threw way more often. So in the game against State, threw, I think, 17 times. He was 8 of 17, right? So that's not many passing plays. We ran the ball far more often, which we know that's Sharon Moore's style. But do you guys remember we were chatting about some of those repeat kind of offensive play calling throws from Bryce? It's either to get him in the rhythm, to make it easier for him, whatever it is. It was those like kind of wide receiver slants and screens. And I was anticipating more of that. We actually only got like 1 or 2 of those in the game. We were very light on passing. I was a little bit surprised. We didn't really reach out to Marsh as much. Marsh, I should say, which is funny because State also had a Marsh. Like, I don't know. Are they related? I have no idea.
Marsh.
Yeah. Macaulay also was a little bit silent. Had a couple good catches. But I will say, I think really cool to see our running backs. I love that we have 2 running backs that are going over 100 yards on the ground. That's incredible. We love that, right? Back in our Corum and Edwards days. But
oh yeah,
I just would have expected. I'm still a little bit surprised we're not using Bryce more. Like, that was my main takeaway from the game. Like 17 passes and not really. You think we're holding back? Do you think we're like waiting to unleash it against a certain team in a couple weeks?
I just don't think that Sharon knows anything different yet. And he's got a, I think that Chip Lindsey does, and maybe Sharon doesn't trust him enough as he knows to trust Harbaugh's system. So I think another offseason under his belt and gaining that relationship with Chip, they'll be a little more explosive next year. I think they could do it if they wanted to. The only problem is we only have 2 receivers. After you get down to Semaj, it's very unfortunate situation there. And with an offense that's going to be explosive, you need to have a pretty ace slot receiver. And Semaj Morgan's probably the opposite of a ace. He's probably a 2 of hearts. So
with all due respect,
we need to get a little more explosive play from our slot receiver. But he just knew he could just keep pounding it, and eventually they were going to wear out Michigan State's line. Might not be the most exciting offense to watch. We were all commenting like, this is just brutal to watch. But then you go and you bust out a big play because you're just wearing them out. Jordan Marshall had that big 50-plus yard run to seal the game because they were so freaking worn out. So I get it. It's just not the most fun to watch.
Yeah, I've commented before. Sharon Moore wants to win every game like it's 1976. Just run, pass, run, pass, run. If he can get away with it.
Yeah, and like for the most part, I don't have too many qualms with that, especially when it works. I'm sure that's what he's thinking. Like, hey, as long as I win, it doesn't really matter how we win, right? And he's right about that. I worry about the lack of practice and experience, right, in a lot of the passing plays. Like, I think his hope and the team's hope, and again, it's my hope too, because like I would love a victory coming up against the games that really matter in November, December. But like sometimes when you get to crunch time, especially with a freshman who has not done it a lot, I would have liked to see him do it more in these run-of-the-mill kind of games, just to get that feel and the timing. We still see him off. He's still throwing behind the catcher a couple times. So I would have liked to see that more. Maybe that's in the bag for Purdue and Northwestern. I'm not sure, but I think we got to get that in before the end of the year, is one of my takeaways. And then, and Kyle, I really want to hear your thoughts on this, because to Chris's point, like I've had enough of Semaj. Okay. Morgan has got to play a different sport, like whatever.
My anti-dude of the week.
Yeah. Tennis. Michigan's great at golf. We have a great golf team. Water polo, whatever it is, like football. I love him. It's not his sport. Every time that he's about to touch the ball, I get concerned. He's got so many drop passes. It's not even funny. And so we don't.
Every time there's a punt, I hold my breath. It's a crazy situation. I don't love it.
Oh, it's ridiculous. So hashtag J Harbaugh. But to Chris's point, we don't have that slot receiver. I was hoping we'd get some of the tight ends to really fill that gap, aka Colston Loveland years ago. Now it's Marlon Klein. We got a couple other who have stepped up. But like we're not doing that kind of up the seam or quick slant from the tight end plays as much as we've seen the past couple of years. So curious, Kyle, what your thoughts are on the passing game. Do you align with Chris? Do you think that we need that slot receiver? Do you feel like we can do more from the tight end position?
I think I'm with you, John. We should probably. I mean, it's good to have a slot, but at the same time, is Semaj being out there even like worth it? Maybe we should just go with 2 tight ends and the 2 other receivers, or then switch out Bredesen as need be. Because Semaj is just not doing it.
Yeah, and I like Chris's point. I'm just saying, like, at this, even if we didn't use Semaj, like, he's not even a distraction anymore. You know how much we do before the
like snap? In the beginning, he could be a distraction because people would be like, "Oh, we got to cover him." Now at this point, you really don't. You can give him a good cushion and hope he drops it. He's probably going to drop it.
Yeah,
that's right. Or worst case, he's going to run out of bounds after a few yards.
Yeah, I mean, it's a glaring weak spot on the offense, kind of like the anti-Bredesen. Like every time Bredesen's out there, I'm like, yes, something good's gonna happen. Follow Bredesen.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
And you see Semaj, and you're like, oh, for Christ's sake, again, Chip, really?
Yeah, like don't make a bad play. Yeah, I mean, those are really like. Of the 3 quote unquote sides of the ball, right? Offense, defense, special teams. I feel like we're making great progress in offense. We've just talked about some of the things we want to tweak. Defense, I mean, that's always been our strong suit, right? It is again this year, I think. And then special teams seems to be like a glaringly obvious,
it's bad this year. I think it's bad.
It's bad. And then we missed Jay Harbaugh.
It's brutal.
We're missing kicks from Zavada. Chris, like, what are your thoughts on like what we need to do there, or why we're in this position?
I mean, the good thing is it hasn't really been a factor in our losses, I guess. And if we're scoring touchdowns, the special team shouldn't matter too much. Honestly, I don't know, man.
We're giving up like 75 yards a game in special teams. It's like that does affect it.
Does anyone remember Semaj doing a fair catch on the 2-yard line? There's so much of the game.
I forgot about that.
There was that one, and then he had 6 returns that were terrible, that were bad, like where you either should have fair caught it when he didn't, or the other way around. And his one positive return, he had wide open field. If he would have just went north-south, he would have gained 20 yards. Instead, he starts running to the side. He ends up gaining 2 yards.
Yeah.
I think that Semaj, there's some background there with... Is Semaj from the Detroit area? Did he go to high school in Detroit? If somebody could find that out. One of the players that's a receiver for Michigan was close with Bryce in high school. I think that's what's going on, is like they're just trying to keep Bryce happy by having his buddy out there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't know what's going on because he's not good. There's nothing good about Semaj Morgan. He can be explosive as long as he's handed the ball and doesn't have to catch it in any sort of fashion.
He's an okay route runner. I think that's about as good as he can do.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, special teams, I don't know, man. Just not use them, I guess, would be the best.
Yeah,
answer.
Just roll out a different. Just
go for it on fourth down.
In college football, sometimes it's not about the schematics. It's not about like moving personnel around. Sometimes it's just get the ball in the hands of your best players. Bryce is the best player. Sometimes the tight ends are auxiliary to that. Sometimes the wide receivers are. Just like get them to the good guys, not the bad guys.
Yeah. That's a great
it's easy, simple. A 5th grader could understand, or a 5-year-old can understand it.
Yeah, it is. It's a very healthy way to summarize it. And then, like, again, so covered offense, special teams. What a defensive performance, right? Like, so Childs, the Michigan State quarterback, he had some good runs. I think they were mostly in the first quarter, I think, a couple in the fourth, but
I feel like they were all design runs, and they were like, I don't know, he did them well, but they were like those runs that really beat up on the quarterback.
Yes. Yeah. It was really the runs that got us, because in the beginning, Childs could not throw for the life of him, right? He's pressured left and right. Jair Hill almost had a pick. We got that fumble recovery by Rolder in the first. It was like 3 or 4 plays into the game. So we were dominating from a defensive perspective for at least, 3 quarters. And Childs, really the only yards he was getting was on the ground. And then they start to air it out a little bit in the fourth quarter, and that's happens in so many games where it's just kind of a desperate team just really pushing down the field. So I get that. But really pleased, because I'm not going to put this on Childs that Childs had a bad game. He was throwing poorly. Like, we were making strong defensive stops, and our coverage was magnificent. Like, yes, it's not Ohio State receivers and probably wasn't, cream of the crop, but we were sticking to them like glue, our corners.
Yeah, no, it was good. We had 2 safeties out there a lot. We didn't see a lot of lot of winking going on, where Winky was like, "Oh yeah, let's zero blitz." It was good.
Yeah, and our I know we have 4 or 5 sacks, something like that. They just played a solid defense. They held Aiden Childs. I'm looking at a stat here: 14 of 28 to 130 yards. Yeah. 5 of 16 on third down. That's huge. That's getting them off the field and giving the offense a chance to score, and lets us control the time of possession. So then you can run the ball.
If we keep doing that, if we keep doing that, I mean, 50% completion from arguably like one of the most athletic quarterbacks in the Big Ten. I mean, that's huge. So I'm going to pass this on to Kyle, only because I have a feeling Kyle's due to the week may come from the defense. That's just my gut.
That's right.
You want to go for it and share that with us, Kyle?
All right. Let's say due to the week. This one, can you get first? I'll see if you guys can guess it. Can you guess it?
Justice.
Oh no, I think it's Rolder.
There you go, Rolder, Jimmy Rolder. Yeah. This was the Jimmy Rolder game. He was all over. He had 10 tackles for 10 tackles. He had the fumble recovery. He was just in position all throughout the game to break up everything that was his way. It was the Jimmy Rolder game for me.
Agreed, man. He was all over. You're missing the game-sealing pick, but he. Fumble recovery, interception, 10 not TFLs, but at least 10 tackles.
Just 10 tackles, yeah. But like, he was crazy. Even when he wasn't like the guy making the play, he was the guy making the part of the play on the outside. Like, he was there. He was good.
Yeah, he
Great
was.
Game.
I was also concerned because our other linebacker, if you guys remember, Cole Sullivan, went out with injury. So, and he was really excited to play and to kind of step in. I'm just trying to research right now and see if he's coming back. It looks like there's some evidence he may be coming back, but I think he's still kind of a bit injured. So he's like questionable to play. So Rolder, like in my mind, stepped up, because for a lot of the turnover / pressure the last few games have been a mixture of Rolder and Sullivan had that big pick the previous game. So for Rolder to come up and really step in there when it's time, he was getting called, whatever the term is, he was in the spotlight. He really showed up for Wink, and I hope that now Wink trusts him some more, because that QB spy RB watch position is going to be so important in the next few weeks against these teams.
Critical. I mean, especially against Julian Sand.
Yeah, who's lighting it up. That's quarterback.
Who is currently torching Penn State.
Yeah.
Where's Mite would say, well, I could throw those passes with the time.
Oh my God.
Throw the ball.
Look it up in the top of the horseshoe. It's Miko. There's Mite.
In a Hoosier jersey.
He's in Columbus.
Why is he wearing alternative uniform?
Oh my God. He's wearing
He's a modern day stallion.
He's out there with Vivek Ramaswamy. Goodness gracious.
He's just got like 4 iPhones, like recording both sidelines. I think that's a great pick, Kyle. Good call. I'm excited to see him progress. I'm, to be honest, on the defensive end, a little bit, I wouldn't say concerned, but I think that I've seen a little less of production from our D line in general. Like we did get some good pressures. We got a couple sacks. But
Yeah, I think that defensive tackle is our weakest spot this year, and that might just be because we're coming off such a great year with Graham and who else was it? We've had great DTs the last couple of years with Glasgow, Graham, Hutchinson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think that's where we need to look in the transfer portal on defense, kind of like how we need to get a slot receiver on offense in the transfer portal. We need a defensive tackle in the portal. I mean, Michigan football is defensive tackles, and we got to get one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right about that. And I think we got a couple of good weapons, but I feel like they're still trying to figure out what to do with Barham. You know, like we put him on the edge. He was a linebacker to start the year, moved him to the edge. He's got some
depending on injuries, he gets moved a lot.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what he can do this week. Before we get to Freak Nasty and talk about kind of other games this weekend, I want to talk about the Purdue game. Any big storylines from you guys? For me, it's a return from injury for a lot of players. We kind of talk about this every week, but for like, I think the number 2, number 3 impact besides Rolder, it's in our linebacker core, right? Started Jayshawn Barham, Rolder's included. And I think Sullivan's another big piece of that with our turnovers. Our cornerbacks, like Jair Hill, they have had so many opportunities to turn the ball over.
They drop them, but that's okay.
Yeah, they get right in front of the ball and something happens. And that's maybe the reason they're cornerbacks, not wide receivers. They just can't catch the ball. But our linebackers have been the story. So I'm excited about Sullivan hopefully coming back. He's still kind of questionable. I'm curious to hear from you guys. Any storylines? What are you looking for coming into this game? Obviously, we're expected to win. I don't know what the latest odds are, but Purdue not having a great year. I think they're 1-6 or 2-6.
They're 2-6.
So we are expected to come out with a large victory. Any themes you guys are looking for? Like, what's your big focus coming into this game?
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to state, to my knowledge, Purdue tries to run the ball. And if they get into a running battle versus Michigan, it's going to be a long, long day for them. So I see Purdue trying to switch it up, maybe go up tempo, forcing us to throw the ball just because we're unproven if we have to keep up with our throwing attack. That being said, it could be a running back battle, and then if that case, we could beat them by 50 plus points. But if they switch up the tempo and kind of throw us off, that's the only chance they have of being in this game into the second half.
So we're favored by 20.5 points. The over under is 49.5. The two big storylines that I'm hearing.
What are your thoughts?
We're having some connection issues with John.
That's okay. He was just asking your thoughts.
I'm in.
Oh, I lost him.
Oh, we dropped our host. Okay. But no, he was just, what are your thoughts there? Buddy?
Right. So what I'm hearing, this is kind of, I want John to hear it, but I'll repeat it again, is that the running backs are both injured. Justice Haynes is injured, is what I heard.
What?
He's out.
Are you kidding me? I didn't know that.
No, I heard he's got a foot problem going on. He's going to be out of this game.
Oh, Jesus. That's not good. You just missed a news bomb, John.
Who's going to be out? I missed it.
Justice Haynes.
Yeah.
Are you serious? For what reason?
He's
injury?
out.
I heard he's got a foot injury.
Oh, no. That's huge.
Yeah. Also, the
good
running back
tonight.
for Purdue is out. Maccabee.
Okay.
Oh.
So
a battle of the
Maccabee,
back.
that's a cool name. Yeah, well, I will also say if Justice is out like healing and trying to recover from the previous game. This is probably a good game to do that. Maybe that's what they were thinking. Like let Justice.
Oh yeah, I think Marshall and I forget the backup's name, but I think they'll be fine given that Purdue's running back is also injured.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
It just might the game might be a little lower scoring.
Okay,
but no, Maccabee was a big part of their offense, so I think it's gonna hurt Purdue more than it hurts us.
Yeah, I think
if they don't have a run game,
I think
then
Chris
we can devote more to the passing.
Like I think if our top running back's out, aren't we going to pass more and use Bryce more? And maybe it's higher scoring.
I hope so. I hope it's a little bit of a.
I would love that, man. I'd love to.
I'd love to see us win this game like 45-7. Just torch them.
Chris, what's your ideal scenario for this game?
I want us to get into a situation where we're down by 14 points, and have to be a little adventurous on offense. I just want to see something out of the ordinary. Shuffle up the cards a little bit. I want to see them throw the freaking ball more than 20 yards and give these players a chance to develop for when we have to throw the ball downfield. It's coming. If we want to beat the big dogs this year, we're going to have to make a deep pass. So let's start working on that versus a lesser opponent.
Yeah. I really hope Sharon is thinking that way. I just don't know what goes
through
his head.
Is this our second to last home game of the year? It's just this one and then Ohio State. I think the next
we're away.
I believe we're on the road.
Yeah, we're on the road for Northwestern and Maryland.
Field.
So yeah, I hope we put on a show for everyone. We need the practice. We need to get the reps out there.
Yeah. Do you guys think there's any
Should we get into predictions?
Hold on before let's do predictions too. Do you think, because we talked about this maybe, what was it, first podcast of the year? Do you think there are any remnants left over from Sharon trying to protect Bryce? Because that would really frustrate me.
No, I think Sharon just doesn't know anything different still, and he's learning how his tool works, and he's going to use his tool more now that he's learning how the tool works. It's like when I tried to do the tile backsplash in my kitchen, I had no idea what the F I was doing, but I had this awesome tool. And then I practiced for a couple days, and then I was like a freaking ace with the tile cutter and putting it perfectly. So he's learning how to use a tile cutter.
Yep. You're right. He's a sophomore coach. So you're right. There's probably a lot of learning there. I hope that's not the case. So let's see if he lets him loose. Let's do predictions. Why don't you guys start? Kyle, you go first. We'll do Chris, and then I'll go last.
How about 35-10?
All right, don't sound super confident.
But... No, I see a scenario where we don't get up for the game and it's close, or we're like losing at a point, like Chris was saying. We're down 14-0. Like I feel like we could be sleepwalking.
Wow.
I'm sick of every week being like, oh, Sharon's gonna learn something. I want him to have learned. I want the learning to be done.
Learning's never done, my friend. But yeah, I get the point. We'll see. Chris, do you actually think it's going to be close, or we're going to be behind at some point and have to come back?
I think it's not going to be close. I think we'll be behind in the first half, and then just rock it and roll in the second half. I'm going to say 49-14 Michigan.
49-14. Wow, you think we're going to blow them out? I love that. Super confident. I'd say if we were doing a Where's Mite segment right now, Mite would come in and say, we're going to be down by 10, 14 points, and then try to come back and win it by a touchdown and be like, we can't let this happen again, and then win all the next games.
Hashtag Where's Mite said 35-10 Michigan in the chat.
Did he? Okay. That's what a lot of the predictions are coming out. 34, 35-10. I think it's going to be closer. I think Justice being out. I think Purdue's really excited about this game. A lot of people want to beat us, but I don't think they're going to have a chance. So I think Purdue's going to score let's call it 14, and I think we're going to be around 28-31. So I think we're going to win by at least a couple touchdowns. That's how I feel. So that's really exciting. That game's tonight. There's also a lot of other games today. Let's get to Freak Nasty Pick. We'll talk about the college pick'em. You guys were saying in the chat there weren't that many good games. I was really excited. I thought there were a lot of games. So a couple of them didn't turn out, didn't pan out to be the upsets that we maybe wanted. But this is a big day. There were 5 or 6 teams that are ranked ahead of Michigan who, if they lose and we win, we have the potential to be 15-16 in the country next week. So a couple of top of the mind games like Texas Vandy didn't turn out to be the upset we wanted. Oklahoma, Tennessee playing later today. What was it? Obviously Ohio State, Penn State. We kind of all knew which way that was going, but we had like a little bit of hope what was going to happen. And then there's 1 or 2 other games I'm forgetting. But Chris, do you have a Freak Nasty pick out of all the games on the slate today that you want to share with us?
So, as you mentioned, there are a few on the table to start the day. Interesting for us to watch. The Nebraska Freaky Nasty pick of the week for me is going to be the NC State Wolfpack to upset.
Dang.
So, go Wolfpack. So far, I'm 0 for 4 or 5. But there's still a chance.
Dang. That's a really interesting pick.
It's fun. I also want to talk about, while we're on that subject, the amount of coaches that have been canned this year in the middle of the season. I just want to run through this list really quickly.
Go for it.
We've got Deshaun Foster at UCLA, Brent Pryett, Virginia Tech, Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State, Sam Pittman, Arkansas, James Franklin, Penn State, Billy Napier, Florida, and then most recently in the probably the big coaches on one little juicy. I'm going to give you some juice of the week. This is we'll call this the gossip of the week.
Let's do it.
LSU is suing potentially Brian Kelly for infracting on his moral clause.
Whoa, what's the moral clause? He's acting immorally?
He's just a jerk.
Yeah, he could just be a jerk. Yeah, Chris, we're having a little bit of issue with your network, your connection.
Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing Chris.
Yeah, we're having a little bit of trouble, but we heard the last thing you said was like suing Brian Kelly for moral.
Yeah, they're trying to reduce his buyout because saying he was a jerk. He wasn't a fun guy to work with, and that's immoral.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's immoral, but yeah, so he had a buyout clause of like, what was it, $54 million? It was reduced in half, literally, to 27. I think they had some sort of agreement.
That's kind of what they're saying based on the morality clause thing.
Yeah, and Chris,
but it hasn't been worked out yet. It's a total mess. The governor of Louisiana got involved, fired the athletic director.
Crazy, huh?
This is a very Louisiana coaching search.
Yeah, it's like right when the governor gets involved. I heard some really interesting calls going out to potential coaches, like Orgeron coming back, who obviously coached them to a national.
Oh man, you can't do that. I mean, the things Edo was doing.
Yeah,
like they got rid of him for a reason. He was. Oh goodness, SMU just beat Miami.
That's a big deal. That's a huge upset. That should have been Freak Nasty. So that'll move us up.
It might. Yeah, I think Miami will still be ahead of us.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Okay, so and then let's talk about potential replacements too for Penn State. We talked about Eric Sinetti extending with Indiana. Was not going to fill that role. Another name that came out was Lane Kiffin. Thoughts on him moving out of Ole Miss?
Lane Kiffin has the choice of pretty much any job he wants. Right now, he's being courted heavily by Florida, heavily by LSU, I got to imagine. Auburn might open up if Hugh Freeze gets fired,
That would be
and
interesting.
they would want Lane Kiffin there as well. Or he could stay at Ole Miss. I mean, Lane
I think
Kiffin
he
could just
should.
stay.
Why not? He's been successful. This is kind of his first major stop after Alabama. Be really nice to take a
He
team.
was at Tennessee, USC.
Yeah, but he wasn't very successful in those.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't very good at those.
So Ole Miss, he's finally they're top 10, aren't they? Or they're close. Are they top 10 or they're number 13? What are they?
I'm not sure what number they are.
Yeah, they were 7. They're ranked 7. So for him, 7 or 8. I mean, for Lane to get this highly ranked to finally run his own team successfully at Ole Miss, it feels like to me one of these situations where these coaches are doing well. They could be courted by these other schools, Penn State, like an Indiana tried to do with Signetti, but they kind of hunker down. Matt Rule being another good example in Nebraska, being like, I want to stay here and I don't want to get poached.
Yeah,
So
he just signed an extension.
Yeah, if you don't want me to get poached or have another school come for me,
SMU's coach Brett Lashley. He just signed an extension, so it's going to be a wild coaching search. I don't know if it's going to be musical chairs or they're going to have to bring in like some John Gruden types, some retired people.
That could be interesting.
Oh, it could be a beautiful disaster. Like, you think Bill Belichick's done bad at UNC? God, could you imagine John Gruden getting back into coaching?
Hey, he would love that. And you know what? As poorly as Bill Belichick's done at UNC, they at least got their victory last week. First ACC victory against Syracuse.
Yeah, last night they got that win.
Yeah, who knows, man? I mean, they're 3-5. Yeah, it's not great. Let's say they get a few wins though. On the road coming up here. It's possible they salvage the season. I'm not saying it's a great start, but for Bill coming to college, this whole situation, like if you can have a winning season, that could be good. And John Gruden, I just miss him as a coach. I mean, he's just such a personality. He's done great as a commentator, but it would be fun to see him back, wouldn't it? Like on the sidelines.
I just don't think he's very good at coaching. I think he's a fun personality, yeah, but one of those things where it'd be like Trent Dilfer at UAB, didn't do good, got fired.
Well, listen, it's hard to win, right? I mean, John Gruden does have a Super Bowl ring under his belt. So
yeah, being a college football head coach it takes a very particular skill set. It's very you have to be a teacher to these kids, a mentor, and run all of your assistants. It's very few people can do it successfully.
That's true. You're absolutely right. Listen, it doesn't look like we're getting Chris back. Mita did not join, so it's us.
Hashtag where's Chris?
Hashtag where's Chris? It's us two to finish this episode. Really excited about that. Kyle, anything you want to leave us with for this episode? What are your parting thoughts, top of mind as we exit the state victory, as we head into this game with Purdue? Anything for that game the rest of the year? What's going on for you when it comes to Michigan football?
When it comes to Michigan football, I want to see us beat the heck out of Purdue. I want it to look like just a master class. I'm sick of bad. I'm sick of watching bad play. I want good play. I want nothing but the best.
Speaking of nothing but the best, Chris has just rejoined us. We were giving parting thoughts, Chris. We're closing out the episode. Give us all the things you were going to give us when you were gone, and give us your thoughts on the game against Purdue, against Michigan football in general. Give us some parting thoughts here.
Sorry, I forgot to pay my Wi-Fi bill this month. Let's get that addressed. Anyways, I feel that we continue to build on our success the last few weeks, getting us revved up, getting us dialed in for Ohio State in a few weeks. We have got to learn to throw the ball, and I expect to see that tonight. So I think we finally let Bryce. This is my hopeful side. I find that I think that Bryce is going to have a big game tonight. Go Blue. We win by big points. And one last note on that Brian Kelly thing. The moral clause that he supposedly violated was that he ran up a absurd credit at the local country club on liquor and crap. So that's what they're trying to use against him. Yeah, very slimy situation. Yeah, but no, go Blue. It's a privilege being able to talk about football with you boys. So go Blue.
Same here. Love you boys. I feel the same way. I hope this is great prep for Ohio State, not to put Purdue down or Northwestern, Maryland the next few games, but I feel like we've got to get some real practice. Like this is where the rubber meets the road now. We're in Big Ten play. Let's get some good practice in. Let's get Bryce ready, our receivers as well, and start to heal from injuries. So cool. Great episode, guys. Sorry for some of the technical difficulties. We're back. We're excited about the game. We'll chat next week about the Purdue game and then looking forward to Northwestern as well. Love you guys. Go Blue. Hail the victors. Chat next week.
Go Blue.
Hail.